Hi, folks. Just a quick podcast tonight. Robert came on and informed us about the massacres that's going on in Syria, and I was just doing a bit of research on it. So I just thought I would um, give a bit of information on it. So just give me a second. Uh, so yeah, so we're gonna just listen to this. Gives you the information.
Yeah. Along the Mediterranean coast. Apparently, several days ago, there was an attack by Alawites against the new government of Al Julani, and but now the retaliation by the Syrian forces under the direction of Al Julani is just unprecedented slaughter of Alawites along the border. Israel has reacted to this by the Israel's foreign minister, and this is what they're saying: the new Syrian authorities were jihadists before, and they remain jihadists, even if they now wear suits. Europe must stop legitimizing a regime that began its rule with such atrocities. That's what Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sar said in an interview earlier today or yesterday. Sar also criticized European politicians for seeking engagement with Syria's new leadership, stating the regime has already revealed its true nature. We understand if you could go on Telegram. I've been on Telegram and seen some of the videos that are just gruesome, just wanton slaughter of dozens of people that you can see. And as I said, the number of those that are now uh, may have been killed and massacred could be as many as 10,000. Some of the policy of the some of the Western European nations is that they want to reach out to the government so that many the Syrian refugees, millions of them who fled the Syrian civil war, would go back to Syria. We understand maybe about 200,000 have done so, but they're legitimizing a government that is really, as Gideon Sar said, revealing its true nature. We also understand the U.S., the White House is, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio has put out a statement that says,
Yeah, just to say that this government that's in power, the guy who's the president is a monster. Has been involved in terrible terrorist activity, and the West has allowed him to be the president. It's laughable. It's just absolutely laughable. And he's the one who's going to be doing the research to find out what's happened and protect the people when he's been a terrorist himself. It's absolutely laughable. But it sounds like a terrible catastrophe and crisis, as this reporter continues to tell us.
is in part, the U.S. condemns the radical Islamist terrorists, including foreign jihadis that murdered people in Western Syria in recent days. And the U.S. stands with Syria's religious and ethnic minorities, including its Christian, Druze, Alawite, and Kurdish communities. Now, what I heard earlier today was that this is an attack mainly against the Alawites, but there are Christians that apparently have been involved and have been killed as well. Uh, and this is a report I got from a friend of mine who's in touch with many of the people there on the ground. She says, please continue prayers for Syria. Pass this message to the news and television and radios. Latest updates, much more than 10,000 killed. They only stopped for iftar, which means to eat after a fast, and they resumed the massacres against the Alawites, Christians, and Shiites in Syria. It's a mass slaughter and killing. And she says she's received voice messages of terrorized Christians and others. Many were able to flee to the humanitarian, or the Hamimin Russian base, Even little children are sharing in the massacres going now against civilians. And she concludes, my friends, this is awful. The whole world should know, and the church should pray and pass on the news. So that's what we're doing right now, passing on the news, not only to speak up where possible, but to pray. Again, there's another urgent message. The new government is killing them, meaning Christians and Alawites, without mercy. This is at the very beginning of the massacre, and many families we know have been killed already. Also, the Patriarch of Antioch, where that in the book of Acts, it's first place they called believers in Jesus Christians, of the Greek Orthodox Church, called on all Syrian civilians from all denominations to take shelter in the nearest church they find. All churches and coastal monasteries open their doors to families and civilians. Please spread this. And there's a statement as well from the Syrian Democratic Forces, part of the Kurdish group up in eastern Syria, northeastern Syria. We are following with great concern the deteriorating situation on the Syrian coast and the accompanying dangerous escalation that directly offends innocent civilians, especially women and children. And we stress the need to protect all civilians and spare them the scourge of conflict. And we emphasize that peaceful solutions and dialogue are the only way to overcome crises. Syrians of all affiliations have suffered from long periods of injustice, and repression has never spared any sect in Syria. The former regime left behind a dark legacy of revenge that deepened divisions, and it certainly did. The Assad regime was no friend of the Sunnis and Christians as well, and they massacred thousands as well. So we call on all Syrians to resort to the language of reason and dialogue, and we
So you can see that there's a massive crisis unfolding in Syria. Genocidal massacres going on, and when it mentions the Alawites, that's an Islamic sect that the Sunnis do not regard as Islamic, and they have kind of quasi views. They believe one of their patriarchs in Islam became incarnated, that Allah became incarnated. So you can see that the Sunni Muslims don't like the Alawites. But it seems like a tremendous tragedy is happening there in Syria. So let's be praying for the Christians and the those are the Muslim groups that are being killed and slaughtered, and other groups as well. So, all right, I just thought I'd let you know a little bit about that because Rob brought it up. So, God bless you. Take care, and I gotta go. Don't forget to support the mission work. You can send to PayPal or you can go to Patreon. All right, God bless you. Love to everybody, and take care. Bye.